DBQ Online is a program that allows students to learn to analyze documents, learn to think about large issues, and formulate opinions that they then have to back up with evidence.
DBQ Online solves many problems for our students. Most notably, it allows ease of access between documentation. One of the things we notice as teachers is that students will constantly flip back and forth between papers and find it difficult to hold on to thoughts across this physical form, but when put in a digital form, it's much easier for them to keep track.
First and foremost, students are notoriously bad about remembering to bring things to class. You have students who come and you'll print a thick packet and they don't have them. You have students that repeatedly forget to bring them, and so then they have nothing to work on. So we push past the idea of needing to remember the packet, and because of the way we've handled the technology issue, students can get a loaner computer. So we push past the idea of you need to remember this paper.
What I love about DBQ Online is that it's so easy to access for students. It's very user-friendly. Also, what I love about DBQ Online is that students can access it anywhere, even on their phones. It doesn't matter where they are, at home, at school, on their phones. It's totally portable and easy to use.
Automatic saving, they can change things, they can move back and forth through the documents, they can quickly refresh memories, they can add things as they think of them, and so it's just the ease of movement through the documents that really just makes it great.
Students like a lot of things about DBQ Online. I think they like the sticky notes that I can put on there and direct their attention to things that need to be completed or should have been completed, but I just think that they like the ease of access that it provides for them. They can easily flip from, let's say, the background essay to the very end where they're in the essay writing portion, and when they're trying to recall certain information, they can easily flip back to that document and then go right back to the essay and begin typing the information that they need.
One of the things that I love is that you see real documents in color. I mean, paintings, pictures. You see, old, like we just finished one where there is an actual psalm that was written thousands of years ago. So I love the variety of things that we get with DBQ Online. I think that the way that we're able to get in and grade and make comments, and it's so quick. I don't have to collect everything and then sit down. I can do it from my desk. I can interact with students real time through DBQ Online while they're doing things, have them change things. It's just so convenient. It really is. You have to analyze, you have to critically think. All the evidence shows that reading is fundamental, but it's integral. And I think with technology today, so much of technology allows you to skirt, really thinking about what you're reading, but not with DBQ.
Most students are very adaptable when it comes to learning about new technology, and they like it. It's something fun. It's for their age. It's what they do.
EdPuzzle is an online tool that we, the teachers, have that can engage the students in interactive videos. They tend to watch a document, look at a photograph or some other source material, and they answer questions that tend to pop right up, and you get to choose what type of questions that you're going to ask, just as if you were making it out the old-fashioned way. If it's used properly, EdPuzzle should not replace the teacher or a style of teaching. What it does is that it supplements. And you could use it to introduce material, you could use it to, as I said, supplement the material, you could use it to reinforce. A lot of teachers use it just to, as a quiz, and the kids like that because it's almost an instantaneous response to it, so they see their score as soon as they're done. What I think is great and what they think is great may be different, but they generally like the videos. It's a break from the classroom, the lecture, book work, research, gives them something different. Today's kids are so visual and they're into technology that this allows them to expand on that. EdPuzzle helps with our literacy goals because the kids are able to have a deeper understanding, or demonstrate, I should say, that they have a deeper understanding of the material. What do we like about the EdPuzzle as a teacher? It's engaging. It is another way that we can use to assess the children. It allows us a little wider range. We could have short answers, we could have essay questions. We get to choose the content video to make sure that it syncs up to our lessons. And speaking of syncing up, another advantage that we have with EdPuzzle is that it syncs with Google Classroom. And as we've become more of a Google school, that's important.
Not everybody learns in the same way. Everybody has different interests, different skills, different strengths, different weaknesses. And if you do all one way all the time, you get burnout. From the teacher's perspective, the teacher gets burnout, the students get burnout, and you don't give the students opportunity to explore their different skills, their different talents, their different potential career paths, interest paths. A lot of the analysis that we want to do, having the technology there, it lets them have a lot of documents at hand. But then at the same time, when we want to have some intense analysis of stuff, you need paper there in front of them so they can annotate, so that they can get in there and actually have a conversation. And when I say annotate, that's what I mean most of the time, is having a conversation with those documents, circling things, writing on them, drawing arrows to things, making charts next to it, making lists, asking questions. Having a conversation with that document the same way you might have had a conversation with other students in a class or with a teacher in the class. Students like a hybrid approach to classroom instruction because it gives them an opportunity to have a variety of experiences. There's a project called the Urban Game that we do in class as an introduction to the Industrial Revolution. It's part of our Modern World History class. The Urban Game, this is it's presented digitally in class, walking them through it, but it's a pencil and paper activity. They have a large sheet of paper, and they are just initially asked to draw a village on a piece of paper, because it takes place in England, really kind of the heart and soul of the start of the Industrial Revolution, and they're asked to draw a basic, simple village. They're asked to put a couple houses, there's a coal mine, a bunch of trees, and what a basic standard village that's been around for hundreds of years in England, English countryside, would have looked like. And then suddenly they're asked to then add components. And they have to add these components into an already existing village where they're adding things in, and the reactions to the students get ugly pretty fast as they realize that this pretty little village that they had created on this piece of paper, they are now adding in stuff without warning. And their village starts getting very cluttered and very ugly. And it's the urban game. Their village becomes a city. It becomes a very large village, a very productive village, a city, and they see what rapid urbanization does. So it's fun, it's hands-on, it gives them kind of more of a visual sense of overcrowding, why things just aren't necessarily planned out as pretty as they could be. And so I think it's very important to have these myriad of activities. I think that's why these type of things, these hybrid approaches, are important.